Hello, thank you for coming out today. My name is Ryan Kane. I'm the Director of Recreation for the town of Concord. Today is an exciting day for us as we launch the Concord branch of the Minuteman Bike Share. It's a collaboration between the towns of Acton, Concord, Maynard, and Lexington. And so we are able to utilize the Zagster bikes and connect within each of the different communities, whether you just come and use a bike here and then come back to the spot, or if you came here, utilize the bike and went to Lexington and left the bike there in Lexington. It's a great resource for the community, for both the residents and for the visitors of the community. And so we're excited to launch it today. We're going to have a couple words from a few groups today. Joining us today is Marsha from Planning and Zoning, Henry from the Rotary Club, Carl Alexander from Zagster, and I will be speaking on behalf of the Visitor Center approach. So Marsha is going to talk a little bit about biking in Concord.
Hey. You can't have an event without a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Simplify. Look around and observe nature, and see in nature the source of art, of craftsmanship, of truth, of the beautiful. Nature is a wonderful way to align your attention with your experience. When one is out in green nature, one immediately begins to live life more directly. This is something the transcendentalists of the 19th century knew well, and their fascination with spirituality and nature were somehow intertwined. Emerson and Thoreau are great examples of free spirits who yearned for direct experience. Life is experience, and the more directly you experience it, the more fulfilled you shall be. Riding a bike or walking along a trail, such as the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail that I've been working on for the past 30 years, will provide that opportunity for being in nature, being refreshed, and able to live more directly. A 3-mile portion of the BFRT will open this spring, and that's known as Phase 2C, and that part will extend from Commonwealth Ave near MCI Concord to the south to Powder Mill Road. Design of the bridge over Route 2 that will connect Acton and Concord portions of the trail is nearly complete, and construction will begin later this fall or next spring, with completion anticipated in 2022. Construction of that portion of the trail south of Powder Mill Road into Sudbury is expected to start in 2023. And this year, the town will begin discussions about extending the Minuteman bike path from the Bedford Town line into Concord Center. Regionally, we're looking at ways to connect the BFRT to in West Concord to the Assabet River Rail Trail, which is over in South Acton. Additionally, the town is pursuing design and permitting of a pedestrian bridge over the Assabet River that will connect Baker Ave Industrial Park to West Concord Village, and the town will also be looking at ways of expanding safe, walkable, and bikeable connections between neighborhoods, ways to connect to the existing trails and pathways, and ways to connect to destinations, such as community centers, libraries, services, and schools. Ralph Waldo Emerson is credited with saying, "Enthusiasm is the mother of effort, and without it, nothing great was ever achieved." Concord is full of opportunities to expand our trails and greenways and bringing residents back into nature. The town, through the efforts of many town staff, has been enthusiastic in supporting residents in their pursuit of living life more directly, more sustainably, more simply, through attention to the trails, paths, and greenways that connect us to where we want to go. Today's kickoff of the Minuteman Bike Share launch is just one more example of that. Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Marsha. Great things coming for biking in this community, and a lot of efforts done through Marsha's office in making that to happen. To make something like this happen also sometimes involves some dollars. And whenever there's a time that the community's out looking for effort and outreach and looking for somebody to support it financially, the Concord Rotary Club is there to step up and often is there raising funds behind the scenes and making things happen for the community. And once again, the Rotary Club came through for the community of Concord and providing funding to make this happen for the residents and for the visitors of Concord. So we greatly value what they've done, and today is President Henry Dane here to present us with a big check for deposit. Thank you to the Rotary Club for their hard work. Last year's Pops concert, the benefits went to the Minuteman bike share, and they put a lot of effort and energy in. And once again, we're making things happen in the community.
So do you have a deposit ticket for this? Equal size? Thank you, Ryan. The Rotary Club is proud to be one of the sponsors for the bike share program. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Rotary symbol is a round wheel, but it's a nice coincidence. Rotary is happy to be a partner with many civic activities, including the bike share program, the Middlesex Jazz Festival. We are also expanding our reach and being partners with the Maynard Boys and Girls Club, the Concord Lions Club, the Minuteman Arc, and the Open Table. All activities and organizations serving Concord and its residents and residents from the area. And so we look forward to continuing this relationship and seeing more people riding their bikes around town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
You want me to take this to the ATM
We could bring it
machine?
right over to the bank. Thank you. Joining us today also is a representative from Zagster, Carl Alexander. Zagster is purposely the bike share that we chose. It's a very well organized company. The Concord didn't want to see bikes, left on the corner or on the curb as some other communities have. They didn't want to see, what did we just have? The scooters flying around. This kind of matched who Concord is, and Zagster kind of brings that professionalism behind there. And I wanted Carl to speak a little bit in regards to that and just the support that Zagster provides to us in the community and why it's a benefit for us to be involved with them.
Thank you, Ryan, and the Recreation Department, as well as the Town of Concord, for your partnership on this effort. Also, in addition, for the Rotary for their generous contribution to help make this happen. As a local company, we're based in Boston, but we have over 250 bike share systems throughout the entire country. So coming to events like this is very special, just in our own backyard. I personally was a sports counselor at Concord Academy Summer Camp for 7 years. Wow. So being able to help advance recreational opportunities for visitors and residents of the town is very special for us as a company. Really, again, just do want to emphasize that this is a planned effort, a regional collaboration that helps to connect communities, or the community, and also our neighboring communities as well of Acton, Maynard, and Lexington in a shared recreation and transportation opportunity. Transit light, if you like to call it, and it's really an opportunity to help layer in new opportunities for community residents in a legible manner. So thank you so much for having us. To touch briefly on how to use it, we are primarily app-based, so there's Zagster app. If you want to download it now, I won't stop you. But it's available, very affordable, annual rates, as well as our lowest rate is just $1 an hour. You have the opportunity to lock your bike using an on-bike cable at anywhere you may stop throughout your journey. Just make sure to end your trip at one of the 2 designated locations in Concord or one of the other participating locations. If you are interested in some help getting signed up, we're also working on, in collaboration with the Visitor Center, for some tutorial work as well. So hopefully that helps to get the inspiration sparked to get on a bike and ride, and thanks so much for having us.
Thank you, Carl. So, approximately 3 years ago, when the Recreation Department took over the operation of the Visitor Center, when we met with the staff, one of the first things they talked about was the need for something like a bike share. They talked about the visitors who would come off the train, walk here, and ask where North Bridge is or where Walden Pond is, and then they'd explain it, and the visitors would be shocked and be like, "Oh, I'm not in the mood for a walk that far." And they had asked for something similar to this, so we started the process in hearing them back in that day. Simultaneously, the town was going through a long-range plan, and a lot of the things that the town is trying to accomplish in the long-range plan is matched by what we're doing here today. Whether it is sustainability, whether it's mobility and transportation, there are many things that are matched within the long-range plan that match with what's happening with the Zagster bike share. So we're excited to be involved in that. Also today, we had 2 riders come to Concord, and that was not coincidental because 244 years ago, 2 riders set foot to come to Concord as well, to start something very revolutionary. And we hope that we're just a portion of the revolutionary impact that those riders had 244 years ago. Marty and Andy, you may not be Paul Revere and William Dawes, but thank you for the ride out from West Concord today. Just to show the connectivity and starting to work through those processes. A lot of thank yous go out to a lot of town divisions that really made this possible for us. The facilities team was really important in helping to make things happen for us here behind the scenes, working with planning and zoning. The Historic District Commission, I'm sure they didn't envision bicycles, so they had a little bit of wiggle room on some of the things that their traditional values were too, but we tried to do it in honor and respect to what is the Historic District's goals, and they worked with us in trying to get this accomplished as well throughout that. And the town manager's office has been a great support throughout this process. And most importantly, for me, is my recreation team. That's it. All the members of the recreation team are great individuals to work with. They're always gung-ho on going out and trying new things and putting forward new efforts. And this is an example of one, and behind the scenes they do a lot to make Concord a great community. So I just need to thank them again publicly. Sure. Yeah. We are going to do a small ceremony with a ribbon cutting. So if I can have Marcia, Carl, Henry, come on up. No. Noel wants to interview me with a question and answer afterwards, so we'll do one right after this.
So we should,
All right.
we have to stretch.
You want to do the honors?
I don't think anybody's tested if this is actually going to cut. So
It's sharp.
It's sharp.
all right, to launch the Minuteman bike share in Concord. I knew it.
Very good. Oh, certainly.
Couple of things is the bikes will be unlocked for you to be able to take a ride around with them and try them out. If there's any questions, I know Noel has a question.
Dedicated bike lanes. If they want to go to Walden Pond, is there anything in the plans for that? And my second question is, there's 2 bikes here, but there's only one empty spot. What happens to the second bike?
All right.
Okay, for the first, that's part of the Complete Streets effort is to when you're working on streets is to consider not just vehicles but pedestrians, people who might have mobility issues, and bicycles. So adding those bike lanes is something that I believe Public Works will be looking at for the future. I think they have adopted the Complete Streets program and it's being evaluated right now, and so that will be part of all future redesigns for local roads.
He's a troublemaker, and we'll take care of him later.
I really appreciate that question. Regarding locking your bike, you'll notice that all of the locking technology is on the bicycles themselves. So you can lock into something that's not one of the dedicated stations if you have to. Or if you're not at one of the stations and you want to stop over for lunch somewhere and keep the clock ticking. So if there isn't extra spot, if people have been riding their bikes over from Lexington or West Concord and you get some overflow, you're more than welcome to end your trip here and let the visitors center know, or to reach out to us and we'll do the redistribution for the user. If it ends up becoming a nuisance, we can work on some more proactive solutions down the road.
How does that work with the app? If you dropped it off here, you didn't lock it here, would it sign you out at that point?
Within a certain proximity, yeah. So if you were to end it right there, it would be okay with that. If you try to end it a couple blocks away, it will flag.
Your question over here, Brian.
Yep.
for the helmets?
Yeah, the challenge with helmets is just managing through them so that helmets are not available through the process with this. Because, the visitor center is open 10 to 4. You would have a couple of challenges with helmets. One would be the cleanliness of the helmet from one user to the next. And the second challenge would be a rider that takes off at 2 o'clock, comes back at 6 o'clock at night, and the visitor center closes at 4. So the helmets are not part of the bike share element.
Is there a certain sign that blocks people from taking up so you're not getting them and
Did you hear the question?
Yes. Yeah. No, rentals are available 24/7, 365. There are lights on the bicycle which are internally hubbed, so they continue to emit light if you're stopped at a red light during the evening time. Good question.
Yep. And not truly 365, because we will take them off the streets in Concord in the snow months, so that we don't have sending people out in the streets when there's piles of snow out on the curb.
Just saying, I can just visualize somebody who's quite tall coming into the visitor center and saying, I'm interested in riding a bike, but the seat's too low. Is that adjustable, or, I'm just wondering, I mean, is it?
Yeah, the seats are adjustable. You'll notice that there's a little latch that you need to undo and readjust. These types these bicycles are made, it's a Fuji Breezer model, very, very smooth to ride for recreational use. It generally complies with folks anywhere ranging between 4'11" and 6'8", approximately. Yeah. If you have longer legs, that might be a different story.
Do you want to speak specifically to it? Or?
Oh, well, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But I did have a question.
Okay.
Do you have any permanent bicycles or anything that's easier for somebody to ride with disabilities?
Zagster does offer 3 different models of accessible bicycles. For more information, let me know.
And then does it work without the app?
Yes, for any bicycle that has a keypad unit on the back of the bike, you can ride without the use of a smartphone via text message. So you do need a cell phone, but if you don't have a smartphone, you can ride via text message. You would sign up online in advance and get instructions for how to ride via text message at that time, and then find your way to the nearest location.
Could you demonstrate how to lock it?
Maybe we should just let
We'll
people
do-
start
yeah.
exploring them.
Yes, I'll be happy to do a demonstration once Q&A is over.
Yeah. Just continuing on the biking environment, we are, as Concord Recreation, running a Bike Fest also in collaboration with the Stowe Street Block Party on Saturday, May 18th, just to kind of celebrate bicycling within the community. And so that will be a good community event that we're just trying to get people out to celebrate the benefits of bicycling in the community. There will be a small bike parade that occurs, and there will be some major bike rides that take place in the morning, but those will be with the groups that you see riding off on typical Saturday and Sunday mornings out of Concord Center. Question?
Yes, my name is Bill Rose from Concord, and I'd like to get involved with the bike cleaning that's going on. I know I've talked to a lot of people, but I've done a lot of work with trails committee to identify and work on trails. The problem is it doesn't seem to be a focus that I can see. Recreation seems to be part of it, cleaning seems to be part of it, natural resources, public works. Is there any focus, any plan to make a focused bike route or bike clean in town? There is no bike committee.
Linda's right behind you, Linda Scavito.
So, one of the goals of the group that was getting together for the Concord Bike Fest was to gather information of residents and to see their vested interest in potentially being involved in something similar to that, to speak for the residents' behalf on that. And then for us as employees, one of our things we take is we take the long-range plan and utilize that as a tool for what we're going through and guiding. And if you read through the long-range plan and what the goals are of that, bicycling is all over the long-range plan. And so for us to take that and utilize that and be thinking about that when we make decisions and what we're doing. So it's kind of spread amongst all the divisions. You're right, there isn't a lead group that is, the bicycle lead on that? Marcia's going to jump in and help me here.
Not yet, but I do have some funds that we will be looking to bring in a transportation planning consultant to help us prioritize all the different transportation efforts that have been identified through the long-range plan and over this past year's town meeting. So out of that may come focus on creating those bike paths and extending them. And I can just say stay tuned, because the conversation for many of them is just getting started.
Okay, how can we get involved, I guess, and how can bike people?
Fill out a green card and submit it to the town manager's office and say that that's what you're interested in. And when we look for residents to participate, we'll call you up.
I'm going to wrap up the question and answer, because we'll still be here and available and be able to demonstrate the bikes. And like I said, people can ride them around and enjoy them and give it a shot out. Enjoy some of the snacks that we brought in here. Peek into the visitor center. Today's the first day. We're open for the season. Hoping for a great weekend, and hoping Monday's weather holds off for us. But I, again, appreciate everybody coming out and being involved and being a part of it. Thank you for coming out today.
Good job, Ryan.